right behind the wall that I film in front of. Doesn't look like I'll be recording much here today. I just had a shower and I haven't done my hair yet. I just felt I needed to explain this mess. Ah, well apparently we don't have front stairs at all now. Huh. Oh, that's not gonna be fixable. I got this on the boat trip. So those other sunglasses were polarized and actually really good. I've only got these other pair and they're $10 and they're pretty terrible. And they just make me look just like, it's too cool. Like I'm filming the playground now. I put my phone case down on the table in what turned out to be very fresh bird poo. And you can tell by the way that it's kind of smeared that I didn't find out by looking at it. I found out with my fingers when I touched it with my hands. After some struggles finding a nice, comfortable little spot, I think this one might just do. Unfortunately, the camera feels ages away, but I've got my little voice memo taker thing in this funny little pocket, so you should be able to hear me just fine. So, today's Monday. Hello. Yeah. Doing alright? I'm really conscious of like where I put my hands now. I'm just like touching my face. I've washed my hands, but I'm conscious of there being bird poo everywhere forever now. I hope it's not too windy. So with some of the structure that I'm intending to have in place with these videos, Mondays is going to be really about establishing what the week is, defining my goals and objectives, answering any questions that might have come up over the previous week, etc. I have a meeting tomorrow about the podcast thing, so I don't actually have much to answer for, I don't know why I went through the effort of explaining what this normally will be when I can't really do that right now, but I can answer some questions. So given that I'm not intending on promoting this content in any kind of way until I've done it for like a month or something, I can't really ask for questions yet because I won't be able to explain why. So I'm just going to ask myself some questions that I think you should ask if you were asking questions, because I have answers to these questions. That's pretty much the only criteria. Got some like weird Pied Piper hair going on. Whew. These are not comfortable rocks. How's it going?
Toilet here?
Sorry?
Toilet.
Not this way. There's the piazza, big stairs and chairs. You'll have to, probably that way's better. Go around up that way, over there. Yeah. They're now going the other way from the toilet direction that I pointed for them. Alright, that could be a problem, but it's not my problem. So, first question. I used to vlog a long time ago. I took a 7-year break from vlogging. Why start again now? Like most of these questions, you're going to find that there's a few good reasons. There's opportunities that are starting to happen that are worth documenting, and other things that I've always intended to be documenting. I've just never been doing it. I've never gotten over the hurdle of being the person I like planned to be. Oh my god, a whole tourist bus thing. Knowing I wanted to start vlogging again, I started watching vlogs again. I hadn't watched vlogs in a long time. Last time I actually made time for that stuff, Shay Carl was still overweight and relevant. Yeah, I really put down that medium for a long time. I stopped making for it, I stopped watching it, but I started being like keen for it again. I really enjoy making vlogs. So earlier in the year I started watching Cody Ko when I happened upon him. I really enjoyed all of his vlogs. And then because of the Patreon founder reaching out to Casey Neistat, I got reintroduced to his content. I was subscribed to Casey years ago, but actually unsubscribed when he started the vlog because the first few videos are just him mucking around in some tropical island setting or the Mediterranean or somewhere, and I just mistook him for one of those people that's just going to be showboating like travel and stuff, and I don't find that to be very worthwhile content. So I was mistaken in unsubscribing from him, and then missed out on all the things that he's been doing. And actually, watching some of his videos again now, I find his mission, I find his purpose behind what he's doing very respectable, and I really admire what he's trying to accomplish. And that's also one of the reasons why I've chosen now to start doing this again. Not because I want to clone his content, but because of what he's trying to accomplish with Studios 368. Knowing there's going to be an incubation platform for vloggers is really comforting, because there is never a place to go with worthwhile content. There is no meritocracy on the internet. It's all luck, really. There's just no guarantee. And with something like 368, with the support of Casey Neistat and his audience, there's potential moving forward. And that's another one of the many reasons why this is starting now. Next question. Why are you so confident that your vlogs will succeed? That is a great question. And like before, it has more than one answer. If you're seeing this, for me, they're already successful. Not because this content has managed to reach you and that's like me actually connecting with someone, though that's great. Success for me with these vlogs is getting them online, making that hurdle, crossing the hurdle of finishing something and posting it. That's one of the many purposes of this vlog, because they're a documentation of something else, and an encouragement and accountability, and because they're not the final struggle that I'm like clambering towards. That said, I do think that these videos have the potential to resonate with audiences other than myself as well. Because these vlogs aren't the destination, I'm not making these vlogs to be a successful vlogger. They're a part of the journey. They're capturing me while I'm trying to accomplish other things, and I'm just like trying to take you along with me on the ride. Oh my god. Like everything, there's pros and cons, strengths and detriments. Some of the strengths include, because this supplements my other efforts, those efforts will supplement this in the ways of content and financial support, momentum, and a story to tell. The story of my journey in life towards accomplishing these things that I'm setting out to accomplish. Some of the cons and detriments is that if those other things are going well, I'm going to be busy, and making a vlog is going to be quite trying. But what I love about these vlogs, and why I'm excited about them, and why I think I'll be able to manage to pull it off, is that making vlogs is really exciting for me. I really enjoy doing it, and it benefits greatly from a lot of the skills and strengths that I've developed over the past years. Video editing, motion graphics, animation, digital art, being in front of a camera, directing, cinematography, acting, voice acting, typography and graphic design. Pretty much like I've honed my skills towards digital content creation, and up until now, I've barely been making digital content. And that's what this is. This is like the holy trifecta times 10 of everything that I can do in one compact bundle. That's why I'm excited about these. These can capture what I'm best at, which I'm, if you want to be the best, you got to do the things you're best at, I guess. Hello. What's going on? It's amazing. One thing I've learned very quickly that's valuable, that I need to pay attention to with these videos, is to keep it short and simple when I'm having my rambly conversations. Might have to start actually scripting things. I like to think that when it comes to talking about me and my stuff, I'm a bit of an expert on those things, and so I know what I'm talking about. And when I know what I'm talking about, I could just keep talking and talking. See, like how I spoke for a minute just then about how I can talk? I could have said that in 10 seconds. So I was talking about how vlogging really encapsulates everything I've actually been honing insofar as my creative outlets. So in ways, that makes it really accessible and easy for me to make something that's quite enjoyable, hopefully, without too much extra exertion from me. And I think that's very beneficial. See a plane. That means it's going to be noisy again in a second. It's a case of making the bed, if you're familiar with that sentiment. It's like getting something done every day that you're good at, that's easy, that's doable, and that's progress. Making the bed is usually simpler than that, but I like things that contribute to the stuff, and this contributes. And hopefully it'll help me overcome some of the things that have been affecting my everyday. The poor focus and the discipline. These are things that I have been trying to work on, but I haven't had the structure or the need or the cause to. It's always been just me on my own time doing things for me, and if it hasn't been made particularly clear yet, I'm a fan of my ideas and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of me. I don't know, man. There's some kind of like dissonance stuff I'm trying to overcome, I guess, but I've had an ongoing problem with perfectionism and low self-worth that have greatly impacted me over the duration of my entire life. It's been cause for depression and pretty much this whole rut that has effectively gone mostly unchecked by my growth in life, my journey, who I should be by now, I guess. And so that's what these videos are. A lot of these things that I'm struggling with are sort of these life lessons that you're supposed to learn at some point that I just kind of didn't. And it's taken me a long time to realize this, but I've missed out on a lot of my progress because I didn't have guiding role models or mentors until more recently in my life. All of these things, the poor focus, the discipline, the perfectionism, the low self-worth, the depression, the no role models or mentors. My previous job was really flexible in its hours. I would work 3 hours in the afternoon here, 6 hours there. I would work on the weekends a bit, and that was it. So when I haven't been studying at a formal institution like school or university, I haven't had any cause for structure, really. Everything has been on my own terms, and as I just sort of established, not a huge fan of my terms. Probably getting a sense of like some kind of real frustrating grinding of gears where things don't exactly make sense or work together, and basically if you're getting that, welcome to my life. I kind of like this spot. Looks like I've got wings made out of trees. For me, there has been a lot of struggle, not so much with the circumstances of my environment and my privilege and, you know, the world around me, but within myself there has been struggle. You would think that this is something that's detrimental for me to be conveying to you or to anyone. If I want to be trying to paint an image of me being some kind of success or me accomplishing all these amazing things, me sitting here and being like, yo, as far as like how we define the success of a person in this modern world, I am terrible. I'm not great at like communication. I'm not great at commitments. I'm not great at time management or discipline. And you know, that's a little frustrating for me because I'm great at so many things, but none of those things matter without those established foundations. Like I said the other day in the first video, you can't succeed in this world from outside of it. You have to be able to function within the structures that exist to be able to cause change. Because otherwise you're powerless. Otherwise you can't function, you can't move, you can't eat, you can't breathe. Outside of the way things are, you die. Inside of the way things are, you kill everything else. Make your choice now. Flip a coin if you want. I have to keep brushing my hair up out of my face. Just gonna put the zip in there. The thing about me telling you all of these things now and why it is important that I do is because it's to who does it benefit that I keep this to myself? Maybe not today or tomorrow, but it would have really benefited me 10 years ago if someone that was trying to be successful and someone who was trying to make change in the world and create things they're passionate about actually communicated that they struggle with those things. That would have been not only inspirational for me, but immensely guiding and helpful and provocative of progress. And especially if we talk about all of these life lessons that I keep sort of referring to, all these things that I kind of missed the memo on, stuff that's probably obvious to some people that had these older figures talking to them. I don't feel like an older figure. I don't feel like I'm old enough to be a role model of any kind or anything, but thinking about it now, I've been out of high school for 10 years, and in that time I've done nothing but think about everything without guidance. And in ways that's been very helpful, in ways that has been entirely necessary. And that's kind of one of the strugglesome quandaries that sort of justify the last 10 years. These flipping planes, man. They justify the past 10 years because I needed that time to sort of process everything that I was familiar with from an outside perspective. If you grow up inside of the bubble of privilege, and if you grow up inside the bubble of the culture that you're surrounded by and the social circles you interact with, and within the bubble of traditions, you're much less likely to question it. You're much more comfortable because in ways you're indoctrinated by the routine of how things are. So for me, school wasn't great either. Social outcast when I was younger, probably due to other issues with like the poor parents and the low self-worth and pretty much everything. Basically it was the part of the concoction, the catastrophic concoction and the cacophony of the line that my path wove through to get me to right here, right now. I feel that up until like 3 years ago, all of that was necessary. The last 3 years probably could have been just more productive. I kind of got the message like 3-4 years ago, and like, really, please, I get it, life. You don't need to keep reminding me. That window ended, but I didn't get out of it quite yet, and it's only sort of happening now. It's taken a while. And that's why it's really important for me to convey these struggles. I think it's really harmful that people aren't more open about their struggles. We have this thing in Australia called the tall poppy syndrome, where if someone is really doing really well, they sort of become a target for hyper criticism. But I think there's this inverse like short poppy syndrome where people that are struggling to get there have to pretend to be an average size poppy. Let's say these short poppies are pretending to be the same height as the average poppy. They have like stilts or something for their flower roots. This metaphor is getting strange. You don't realize that half of the poppies around you that look like they're at an average height are actually like 3 feet shorter, that the average poppy height is way down there. I've heard this conversation about curated images and how we post like the perfect versions of ourselves online, but we do that with our lives as well. Hey, how are you doing? I'm doing great. When actually I'm doing terribly. We curate almost everything that we do, right? Right? Or is that just me? It could just be me. Maybe I'm just a short poppy. So I guess I'll just talk from the vantage point of myself so I can keep talking about this. The problem with this whole poppy thing at all, we're comparing ourselves to the height of others, and that isn't really beneficial to anyone's cause. Is it just me, or is there this weird sentiment that we shouldn't let those short poppies grow into tall poppies? I think it might be an Australian culture thing. I don't know, there's like this irksome like resistance. You need to keep those short poppies short. We don't get confused about like actual height. Remember, we're talking about accomplishment. A short poppy, in the context of this analogy that I've just made up, a short poppy is someone that's struggling, usually with themselves, sometimes against the system, but quite often the struggle with the system is reflective of a struggle within themselves in ways. The system is definitely far from perfect, and there are a lot of things it could be that would enable it to better accommodate people that struggle with anything. The system is really designed for people that don't struggle, that have no struggle at all. Actually think about that for a second. In some countries it's sort of okay, but in most places, if you have any physical health or mental health issues, or any disabilities, or you struggle with focus or discipline, or you have any kind of chronic pain, or need to look after someone with a disability of any kind, you're effectively going to be struggling, and because of that, you are effectively on 2 back feet, and congratulations, on top of having to struggle with those things, now you're also going to struggle with the system, because the system does not benefit you in any kind of way. The system as a whole only benefits the people that have it all together, because how dare you not be perfectly resonant with financial structures and economy, and education plays a large role in this. I'll get more into education in the future. But with these people that struggle, and especially these people that have the capacity to be doing so much more and they're just struggling with aspects of themselves, quite often it's because they're just missing some jigsaw piece. I was missing a few. I'm now aware of what they are, but knowing what they are is not nearly the same as finding how they fit into who you are in your everyday life. And the problem with the problems that I'm specifically dealing with is that they are actually also the solution. Like, you need to have exactly everything that I'm missing to be able to get past all of this nonsense. It's this vicious cycle, this catch-22. So I'm doing my best to pull myself out. You know, this is part of that journey. I'm also picking this up because other things are starting to work out, and I'm feeling better. I'm feeling much more secure in who I am, what I'm about, what I'm going to be trying to accomplish, and I have faith that at least something that I want to do with my life could just work out. And I just need to have confidence in not only that idea, but also in myself, in being able to achieve those things. So I just want to clarify straight out of the gate that these struggles, this stuff that I'm trying to overcome, is a part of this journey and a part of me getting to this supposed place of being who I feel I'm supposed to be. And when I get to this point, if I get there in the right way, there are people that are going to look to me as a role model. And I know that preemptively, and that's probably a weird thing to go into this with, but I need to be realistic and objective about this. And if I'm going to be falling into that place, if I'm going to have the opportunity and the privilege to be in that position for other people, I want to make sure that I'm doing it in the most helpful way possible that can help those people get to who and where they want to be. And for that to be the case, I need to be real with you. I need to make it happen. I need to tell you that I struggle. I need to be honest with you. I struggle with focus. I struggle with discipline. I struggle with depression. I have way too much fun when I should be working. That's kind of the discipline and focus thing again, though. But most of all, I want to connect with you. Like, that's probably a weird thing where it's like this one-way thing where it's just me and this little dot. But I've watched vlogs and I've been a part of communities online, and I've been there when these people with this opportunity have done amazing things, and I know it's possible. And I don't want to be that person so that I can be that person. I don't want to be on this pedestal for the opportunity to show how amazing I am or whatever. I want that pedestal, I need that pedestal, because the things I need to accomplish are important to more than just myself. And I believe that. And so that's something that I have drive towards. And because I have that drive, I'm just going to keep on fighting for it until it happens. And then hopefully it'll eventually happen. At which point, this will make sense. So in my journey to find a nice quiet spot to record this, I've actually ended up just around the corner from some of my friends and their studio recording space. So I'm gonna go check out what they're doing. So I'm here at Change's studio.
Change's Studios.
I've decided that while I'm here, I'm gonna use the sound booth to record the dialogue for my first vlog that I still haven't finished editing, because I need to record some dialogue, and every time I get to that point in editing that video, it's like midnight and my housemates are asleep. And I don't know, I don't want to wake them up by like screaming nonsense into a microphone by myself. I need to like sort out a process where I can record this stuff. This is technically my 4th day of vlogging, but I think this is going to be vlog number 3 because my second day didn't really happen. I've already lost a day, I guess. But that first 2 videos really weren't in the routine of it. They were about getting people up to speed and establishing a lot of things. So it was like Monday is the start of the routine, and Monday's today. Let me tell you a bit about Changer while my laptop reboots, in theory. Hello? It's beach balling, it's frozen now. This might take longer than expected. I told this to reboot a little while ago, do you remember that? I think it's rebooting now. Excellent. So while it's rebooting, let me tell you about this space. Change Studio is a fantastic resource for creators of predominantly video content, digital content here in Brisbane. They also have a strong drive towards local community collaboration and fostering creators that are just doing passion projects and doing things on their own terms, which is they want to see the local Brisbane creators become prolific in the online scene. They're willing to give a lot of help and resources to try and make that happen. I have definitely been underutilizing this space and the connections and the resources available here, but at this point that comes no surprise. Okay, so we're going to jump into the sound recording booth, I think, if the program is going to work. Hello, is the sound working? Do we get to know if we get to go? I don't know. Well, why is nothing working? Slack, nobody asked for you. You know the number of times I have told Slack not to launch with the start of my computer? Don't stop moving, can't you feel the music? DJ's us going round, round, I think we're working. Yeah boy, it's working. The script for this is on my computer or on my phone. I haven't thought this through at all. Getting all the noisy things away. Let's start recording. Ooh, the sound in here.
You know it's legit. You can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk.
I'm trying to find a spot I can wedge this that won't stuff stuff up. One thing I don't like about recording my voices by myself is that having to go out and record and press the record button, I don't know, it stresses me out that like I have to go out this room to stop recording. It feels like I have to be like extra prepped when I press record and come in here. But I have a wireless keyboard. So like I just have to press this button. And now it's recording.
Now I sound crisp and high definition.